The jungle is coming to Rust, and to survive in it, you're going to need to battle other players and the environment for supremacy. So I put together 10 tips to help you conquer this new biome and rise above the competition. What's up guys, it's Jazzy here. We're going to start off today's video by taking a look at the all-new jungle exclusive Jungle Ziggurat monument. The pyramid shape you see in this aerial shot allows you to access the monument from all sides, so I'm going to show you what I think is the optimal route to get all 6 crates as well as the 2 new jungle exclusive crates. I like to start on the stair side because we can loot the external crate first and then the 3 inside right after. There's also a recycler on the ground floor of the Jungle Ziggurat. Then we can make a jump here to the rope ladder, climb up that and loot the 2 crates on top of the ziggurat. When we're finished up top, we can slide down this side to loot the crate that's partially the way up the ziggurat, and then down the other side to loot the jungle crate before we're ready to get out and depot. But you might be asking yourself what's actually in the new jungle crate. Well, I looted 100 of them and put together a loot table so that you could know. Along with scrap, the new jungle crate includes meds, ladders, and blow darts associated with the new jungle patch. The anti-radiation pills in particular are super useful against the new radiation darts. The build exclusion zone of the Jungle Ziggurat seems to be about half a grid away, which means you can still build very close to it. The frequency of trees in the jungle and density of the canopy means that this will be a difficult monument to roof camp despite how close you can build to it. Our next tip is all about building in the jungle. Because the new vine trees block building and occur every 20 to 30 meters, it's going to be extremely challenging to find a spot to get a big base down in the jungle. However, it's not impossible, which is why I'm going to share with you some of the best building locations that I could find. The first spot is just in the river. It offers a wide space free of trees for you to build in, which is how I was able to put down this 5x5 with a compound. The only requirement to build here is to find a slightly shallower section of river that lets you put foundations all the way across above the water. As long as you can do that, you'll have a great spot for a base and plenty of fresh water. Speaking of fresh water, the next spot we're going to take a look at building in are these freshwater ponds that occur regularly throughout the jungle. These tiny bodies of water are both easy to spot on the map and shallow enough to foundation all the way across, giving you another clearing in the trees to build whatever you'd like. Continuing our theme of building near the water, inlets along the coast like this give you another spot to put down a base a little bit set away from the dense jungle forest. The last building locations to keep an eye out for are caves and rocks. Any existing base designs will work here just like they would anywhere else. One example is this God Rock base design I put together when they got re-added to the game. For this next tip, we're going to be talking about the all-new mini monument that got added, the Jungle Ruins. This new site has a very small building exclusion zone of about 50 meters and seems to spawn at the intersection of roads. Inside, you'll find 3 crate locations that can either spawn as military or normal crates, as well as a few barrel spawns inside as well. 1 crate can be found at the peak of the ruins, and the other 2 on ground level in this section behind. Although this isn't a particularly large monument, the loot density with the crates and the consistency of their spawn rate seems to be extremely strong for small groups trying to make it in this harsh new environment. The jungle ruins have no label on the map, so you'll have to look for the symbol here you can see in D4 that's distinct from the water well symbol that you can see in C3 on the same map. Our next tip relates to base defense. Compound bow turrets are going to be insanely powerful in the jungle. With visibility being so reduced, quiet, effective defense methods like this are going to be extremely valuable to anybody trying to survive here. As you can see from the player's perspective, the turret is completely undetectable and impossible to avoid. Speaking of impossible to avoid, the vertical range of the turret also makes it possible to shoot players all the way out of vine trees like this. Putting a turret in a location like this can be extremely effective at maintaining control of a vine tree that you're trying to dominate. In this tip, we're going to be talking about the effectiveness of all the new blow darts that got added. From a user perspective, the blowpipe is very similar to the crossbow, but maybe with slightly less range. The first and most simple dart is the wooden dart. that does 40 damage per body shot to an unarmored player. Next we have the Scatter Dart. This dart essentially turns the blowpipe into a slightly less damaging water pipe shotgun, still capable of killing with a headshot from close range. Now getting to the more unique darts, we have the Incapacitate Dart. Although this dart doesn't have a high base damage, it completely blinds a player and slows them slightly for about 2 seconds, meaning that if you can chain shots together, you can keep them totally sightless. The other unique dart that got added is the Radiation Dart. Similar to the Incapacitate Dart, this dart has a low base damage, but when struck with it, you'll receive a debuff that applies about 160 rads over the course of 17 seconds. Although you can technically bandage or medstick through the rads, having over 100 radiation slows you dramatically, meaning that carrying rad pills is really the only way to combat the debuff once it's been applied to you. However, it is possible to avoid the debuff altogether. If we equip over 10 radiation protection, when we're hit with a radiation dart, we won't actually receive any radiation from the radiation debuff. This means that the radiation dart is almost completely ineffective against players who are wearing gear. The last thing to note about the blowpipe is that all of the darts have their effectiveness reduced by about 75% when in a turret, making them basically useless in that use case. Stealth is absolutely key in the jungle, so quiet weapons like the compound bow are going to prove invaluable. Reduced visibility because of all the foliage, as well as high vantage points like from the vine branch here, make quiet weapons overpowered. Even just sitting on ground level with a silenced SMG gives you the opportunity to kill a player before they can even react. For this next tip, we're going to be talking about the vine trees. Swinging from branch to branch on the new vine trees can offer a quick and fairly safe alternative to walking along the jungle floor. This is especially the case if you're concerned about the safety of crossing a road or river on foot. Be advised though, swinging from branch to branch doesn't offer you complete protection against enemies on the ground floor of the jungle. Even though you can stand on the branches of the vine tree, they don't actually have a projectile hitbox. That means that you can shoot arrows or bullets directly through them into whoever's standing on top of them. The last thing to note about the vine trees is even if you cut them down, they'll still regrow a new vine tree in the same place. In our next tip, I'm going to show you how you can survive all the vicious animals that populate the jungle. Crocodiles can be found in the river, and even though they're extremely aggressive and will chase you out of the water, they won't actually continue for very long, so continuing inland will have them give up and return to the river. Conversely, big cats such as the tigers and the panthers that chase you on land won't actually follow you in the river, so you can use that to escape them. Snakes can be found all along the floor of the jungle. Right before they attack you, they'll make a hissing noise. As long as you jump away from them when that happens, you'll avoid any damage and can safely continue running away. In our penultimate tip, we're going to be talking about the jungle environment itself. Trees and other environments such as the grass, snow, and desert will give 750 wood on average, but almost all the trees in the jungle give you 1,000 wood each, meaning you get 33% more wood when farming for the equivalent amount of time in the jungle. Nodes in the jungle spawn at the same ratio as in the grass. That is to say 50% stone and 25% metal, 25% sulfur, which means you'll have a lot more stone than you will metal or sulfur here. Hemp nodes can also spawn in the jungle, but in my experience they're extremely difficult to spot because of all the other plants and foliage along the ground. And for our very last tip, the scientists in the jungle are orange, so keep an eye out for them among the trees. Thanks so much for watching the video, guys. I really appreciate everyone who made it this far. If you enjoyed, please hit the subscribe button below. And good luck in the jungle.